I just remembered a few years ago during my internship, I met this girl, I'm going to call her Scovia, in a village deep down there. She was on the wards. So I was doing the ward rounds and she was very pregnant. She had come when she was in labor, but it wasn't yet second stage, it wasn't yet very active. So I noticed for like 2 days, she would keep looking at me and she kind of looked at me like with pain. And she had no people that were there to help her. So I went over to her and I asked her, um, why don't you have caretakers? Why are the people that are supposed to care for you? And she told me, I only live with my husband and my other children are very young, they cannot come. My husband will come when I have delivered because right now he's looking for money. She said that her mother would um, would come the next day to be able to help her because she was coming from a farther village. So I was so shocked, especially when I came to Kampala to start practicing. I was really shocked and amused and very gladdened by the fact that the men in the urban areas, the men who have more education and understanding, were actually there catering for their wives. When women have delivered, they're there. They want to be in the labor suit. They want to be in the theaters. Like this was something which was a bit more active. It made me very happy because I was like, well, this is actually what it's supposed to look like. Because up country, most men don't really do that. They say that is women's work. So it's either their sisters-in-law or their mothers-in-law who'll be around. It's something like that. Anyway, so this young girl, first of all, spoke to me in Michigan. And she was telling me, she was like, whenever I look at you, I am so amazed by the fact that you're a woman who is also similar to me, but you have gotten an education. She was like, I admire to see you're a nurse and you're educated. I was like, actually, I'm not a nurse. And she was like, so what are you? I told her I'm a doctor. And she was like, what? Women also become doctors? I was like, yes, you can become anything you want. And she was like, she told me she always dreamt of being a teacher, but she couldn't because she stopped studying in P6, and that's when they married her off. So from then, she was now 19, but she had had 7 pregnancies. Of those 7, I think 4 were alive, but 1 was sick. This was going to be the 5th, something like that. But just know that it was a very complicated time. So anyway, I spoke to her and I asked her, what do you know about things like family planning? Have you considered it so that you can do something since the children are at home and you go back to school or you start working? So she said she wanted to start a business in tailoring so that she can make clothes because she likes clothes, but she said her husband doesn't believe in that because it's not the ways of their people. And he told her that if you ever attempt to do it, he would, how do you call her, watches her, and also her family would tell her basically you can't leave the marriage. Now, for me, I felt this broke my heart and it made me realize how privileged I am. Sometimes we think being privileged is having so much money or coming from wealth in terms of money, but we do not understand. I come from a family with 2 parents who loved me and my siblings, with parents who said there is nothing about you getting married before you're done with school, with parents who gave me no limitations in terms of what it is I can achieve. You know, I like saying things like, what's that thing called? I made myself, or self-made or something. I am nothing close to self-made. I have been made by so many people. Like I've been supported by so many people. My parents being the cheerleaders, my family. Like it's not something that is common to hear someone just saying they're stopping school to go and get married. You know. So anyway, long story short, this was the life that she had been thrown into. At that point, I was 25, she was 19. She was younger than my younger sister who follows me. And I realized I am in a place in my life, like we are now in literally so different worlds that they can never even come close together. I had finished school, I was doing my internship, I had done the work that I dreamed of doing, I had done the best of that I can possibly do. And her life was so different. This broke my heart so much. So I was really very inspired and motivated to talk more about these things. When it comes to the community, I really want us to learn about these things. Of course, the ideal is abstinence. Of course, the ideal is finish school and get married. That is the ideal. But people are so far from the ideal. The life we live is so far from the ideal. you know, and that is a reality that we need to know is happening. These girls are suffering from these complications. These boys are also very clueless, just as clueless. That's why we have so many issues right now: mental health, illnesses we don't understand, infertility that is left, right, and center, because people are making errors that just simply do not have sense. So now that that is there, we can keep pushing for education. That's what I'm doing here. Pushing for education, pushing for abstinence, pushing for being faithful for those that are married and in committed relationships. But I want us to also be open and understand the concept of contraception. What is the contraception that you know? What is it that you have heard about that is out there? Because people are doing these things. How, but if you're doing these things, how are you protecting yourself and protecting your future? I would like to call out to the policymakers again. Please, in the name of our Lord, keep shining light on these areas. Thank you for this far that we have come, but I'm also asking for us to keep on shining light. Let us keep educating, because you see, actually, educating the girl child isn't charity, but it's an investment. Why? Because we have better families, we have better decision makers, we have healthier children. That means we spend much less on healthcare, much more on education. We have a better understanding of life. There's literally so much that is endless. And for the communities, let us support our children more. Let us have age-appropriate conversations. This intercourse is everywhere, people. It's everywhere. Like you'll be scrolling through TikTok and someone is saying over they're coming over, Smani, I'm selling what in which WhatsApp DM, buy me at this price. These are things they're selling to children. The internet is flooded, so it is best that we get with a program and educate our children better. Have an open-minded approach. Teach them as much as you possibly can. Anyway, that is what I think. Just let me know what it is that you think. What have you told your children about sex?